What would you do if you had $1 million?
I'll tell you what I'd do, man. 2 chicks at the same time, man.
Hey guys, Greg from Georgia. Been wondering about this, if this would work as a time saver, since I've got my maintenance wash process down to as efficient as I think it's going to be at around 30 minutes. Surely it would be more than twice as quick to wash 2 cars at one time. Because, you know, part of washing the car, the inefficiency of walking around and grabbing stuff, and it would go away if you were doing 2 cars at one time. So what you see so far, this is in 4-speed. I've soaked the car. While the pre-soak is actually soaking, I'm going through and hitting all 8 wheels and tires. All I'm doing is wheel brush and tire brush using the car shampoo that's on the wheels and tires just from the pre-soak. So I thought I'd knock that out here, give the pre-soak on the paint a little extra time to do its thing. So here you go, I've pre-soaked, I've cleaned 8 wheels and tires, and now I start the rinse. Using the same process that I usually use and have documented here, and that is where try not to touch the paint as much. The initial is a foam cannon rinse, no touch, for getting all of the non-biting contaminants off. Both of these high-end Tucson's are actually pretty dirty. There's some crepe myrtles off to the right. You can kind of see it's the time of year where they just shit on the cars. So that's coming off here on this rinse, thankfully. So it's not going to be grinding in the paint on the next step. Clearly, adding on the foam is on 2 cars versus 1 is a time saver. Rinse, not as much. I mean, rinse is kind of laborious here. It takes a while to rinse a car. I'm probably not saving too much time there. But the step you just saw before on the wheels, definitely a lot quicker there. So here I go with the second soak, and this is the soak of putting the car shampoo on the car for the purposes of the mitt wash. So this is where I use the mitts to remove the binded contaminants. Since I'm doing 2 cars, the idea here is I am kind of doing the 1 bucket 4 pad method of top, left, right, and then a different mitt for the dirtier parts, the 4th mitt. But I am doing the grit guard bucket between the 2 cars. Usually I don't do that, or I never do that on the 1 car wash you've seen in the videos, but for this one, I am. So you'll see me actually go back for once and actually clean the pad right here as I move to the 2nd car in the back, doing still top with that single pad. Time savers are here, definitely, and that's with the walking around. The inefficiency of 1 car is not as lost on 2 cars. So happy with it so far here. Now I'm getting the other mitt that's used around the dirtier parts of the bottom as soon as I finish the left side there. So there goes that. Here comes that mitt. So I'm using to get the dirty lower panels. And really both of these cars have unpainted trim really thick all around the bottom, which is a really nice delineator. I only use it for that areas, and the paint gets the mitts, so that works out well there. So now I'm moving over to the final rinse. I'd like to have a car that I don't have to constantly lurch over the top of. I have 3 CUVs and 1 SUV. I just don't have a car that is easy to clean the top of. So thankfully I'm 6 foot tall, and at least the 3 CUVs I can just do it by tippy toes. The Q7, if I'm going to do it right, I'm just going to stand on the tires. If you notice here, I just fell on my ass. Nice recovery. That's the rinse. Now I've got the Adams H20 Guard Gloss. Not something I would have normally bought. And in previous videos, this is where I would have gone to the Master Blaster. The thought here was, well, a few things. One is the Master Blaster definitely takes longer than just drying the car. But so much nicer in that you're not touching the car, you got no drips, you can do the door frame or the inside door channels with it. But on this, I got the Guard Gloss on a mystery box. And if you noticed on the blue car, I actually used it up. That was the end of my bottle, and actually switched to detail spray on the last car. So I sprayed detail spray on the wet car to aid in the drying on the orange one, and I've got a generous application of Guard Gloss on the blue car. I'm actually curious on this Guard Gloss. I want to use it on the blue car because this car is going to be outside. I always want to keep wax on it. And what I've read on some of the Adams forums is Guard Gloss basically replaces the need to wax the car. Say every 6 months, or I'm sorry, every couple months. It goes on top of the paint seal. Paint seal, it's the main protection. But Guard Gloss kind of replaces the Americana paste wax or Patriot paste wax step, as what I read. I mean the fur, and leave this in the comments if you use the Guard Gloss, because I'm really curious. I want to like this product. As you see on this video, I just ran out. I'm done. So either I get a gallon of it and commit to it, or I just don't use it anymore. It seems like the first wash with the Guard Gloss, which is this one here on the blue car, I never really get a nice, clean, shiny finish because there's some film left over. Am I using too much Guard Gloss? Am I got not enough buffing towel action? A little bit of both. I'm always thrilled with the second wash after the Guard Gloss, but the first one there's some haze around the door panels, or maybe I run out of enthusiasm or something. You'll notice here that I'm spraying detail spray on the hood because I can clearly see there's the film from the Guard Gloss. So it took that sort of extra effort to get it to what I would call shiny, with the Guard Gloss followed up with the detail spray. So what am I doing wrong? Too much Guard Gloss, not enough buffing. That's just the way the product works. Curious. So now I've got a crappy towel going around the non-painted trim. And then now that same crappy towel is doing the wheels and tires, grabbing those those hose guards along the way. So that's neat. I have 4 hose guards and 8 tires. By the way, I stuck them in the middle. That seemed to be the place to put them as the hose is going in the middle. All right, now I'm switching over to the VRT. Both of these cars are great for VRT because 90% of the base is a unpainted thick rubber trim. I actually use that round sponge applicator on VRT for the tires from Adams. I actually use it for all the trim pieces too because they're so tall. It works well there. I don't have to use that square sponge that they have. So that's cool. Then on to the glass cleaner. You notice I'm cheating, or I'm just being lazy here. I didn't use glass boost on the windshield. I just did glass cleaner around. And so what you see here is saving about 10 minutes if I were to wash both cars individually. So that's kind of my takeaway here. I'll do this again. It's the way to wash these 2 cars, one that lives outside, not black cars. I like that. I think this works to do 2 chicks at the same time. Anyway, thanks for watching.